Good afternoon, everyone. It is March 28th, 2018. This is Virgo Triad. I wanted to take a minute to update everyone on a video that I did back in February, beginning of February. The name of the video was Man Begs Harvey Dent for Help After Defrauding a Dealership. Now, this video I did, I took a look at exactly what it was that he was doing, which was the A4V process, attempting to try to compete with Harvey Dent at a dealership where Harvey Dent originally had attempted to provide a promissory note to a Nissan dealership in order to get a 370Z, but failed at that attempt. This man tried a few months later to get a vehicle and use an A4V process that was very close to the same as Harvey Dent's, although he went with the red lettering and the stamp method, as you will see in this video, or have seen if you've already seen this video. The update to this is that over and over again, myself and the people that help me to research things for you guys to bring to you actual fact and help to debunk some of these scams, we all attempted to try to individually talk with Marvin to let him know that this would be something that if he continued to upload videos of him defrauding people, it was going to become a problem. We tried to let him know that it was a scam entirely. I went as far as to make 2 videos, all the while getting hate mail and getting comments from a particular group of individuals who did not appreciate the fact that I was trying to actually let Marvin know that this was going to get him in trouble. As a result, we have checked on Marvin back and forth over the last couple of months, and unfortunately last week it appeared that Marvin disappeared. We could not find him. He was not loading any additional videos. He was not making comments back to us anymore. And ultimately, we have found him. Let me take you over to the Brevard County Police Department so that you can take a look at where Marvin is now. Okay, as you can see, we're over here on the brevardsheriff.com inmate photo website. As you can see, Marvin G. Miller is the inmate, and he was arrested on the 22nd of March, so just last week. It does look like at the moment he has no bond. He probably will not have one that is allotable, as he has been charged with scheme to defraud and wire fraud of $20,000 to $50,000 on 4 different counts. He has been charged with utter worthless check under false pretenses. He has been charged with, and that's 2 counts, and he has been charged 2 counts of cash deposit with intent to defraud. Now, I'm going to play the video that I made after this, and you will see where all of these charges actually came from. The scheme to defraud and wire fraud charge, I'm sure, are coming from the vehicle attempt at A4V. The utter worthless check under false pretenses is also, I'm sure, coming from that same visit at the dealership, as Marvin decided that it would be best, or in his best interest, to write a check, which he had purchased his checks from Vistaprint and placed a Federal Reserve routing number and his Social Security number on the checks, and fraudulently opened a Fidelity account and tried to transfer $100,000 into it out of his secret so-called trust account. When this did not work, obviously everything bounced, and as a result, he was left with one form of payment, which was the A4V promissory note, which of course is false also. None of these things work. I've tried to explain this to you guys. Unfortunately, Marvin has learned the hard way. one of Marvin's last words to me on my comment when I decided it was time for me to stop because I was beginning to get really serious threats in my comments and email. Marvin made the comment, "Virgo Triad, I'm going to make you eat your words." I'm not trying to get everybody all upset. I'm trying to explain these things to you guys to keep you out of the situation that Marvin is in right now. Had Marvin just taken a few minutes and listened to some of what I was saying, Marvin may be free today instead of facing a whole lot of federal prison time. Marvin has been arrested and charged as of 3/22/2018. His court dates are in April and May. The court date, it appears, for the wire fraud that he has no availability to bond out of jail in order to do anything here. 5/11/2018 is the court date. So we will know what kind of time Marvin is facing as of May 11th of 2018. I'm going to go ahead and link this video that I made back in February addressing this with Marvin to the back of this video that I've just made today, and in hopes that those of you who have not seen it will go ahead and watch it, and hopefully it will resonate with you enough to stop you and allow you to think a few minutes before purchasing these packages from these scam artists. Okay? Everybody have a good day. Bye-bye. Good morning, everyone. Virgo Triad here. It is February 9th, 2018, and I ran across a video that, quite honestly, I really can't believe that I'm seeing right now. The title of the video is Sovereign Citizen Marvin Attempts to Buy a $72,000 car with his TDA and Social Security account. Now, I am going to play small snippets of this, and I'm going to use this based on fair use so that I am not infringing upon any copyright laws. I have some statements I would like to make with regards to this, and I feel that it's important that people see this so that they know that this is absolutely something you do not need to be doing. Quite frankly, I don't care what Harvey Dent tried to do or didn't try to do. This is a bad idea regardless. So let's go ahead and move forward with this. I will be making some comments and stopping the video on and off because I need for people to pay attention to specific things. Now, this evidently was attempted as of November 11th of 2017, although this video was not actually updated for this until the 7th of February. I will be listing the actual link to the original video here in the description so you can watch it in its entirety if you choose to. We are dealing with someone that I just do not understand here as to why they would attempt to try to do this, but let's take a listen.
What's going on, people? I'm doing this video because I seen Harvey Dent, basically did a video pertaining to what I'm about to show you guys.
Okay, number one, the fact that Harvey Dent did this and did not succeed and had the cops come out and let him know that he was not going to be able to leave with what he considered to be his property should have absolutely been a big red flag for no one else to attempt to do this or think they were going to be able to successfully get away with it. However, as we're going to see, this gentleman actually did not do it the way that Harvey did. Harvey attempted to try to write out an IOU, or what he's calling a promissory note, in order to do this. This gentleman wrote a check.
So let me go ahead and explain this best. I put the video together the best of my knowledge. Now, basically, I went to BMW of Melbourne, and it was a clever move for for what I did. So
I don't know, Marvin. I don't know how clever that actually was, to be perfectly honest with you. Melbourne BMW probably is not real happy with you right now.
at the time, before I even got into business with the guy, to where he was like, how can I, verify if you got funds or the money to go ahead and purchase this car? So at the time, I was able to put like 100,000 inside of Fidelity.
Okay, so basically what you're telling us, Marvin, is that you defrauded yet again another creditor, being the bank.
I didn't figure out how to put the money in Fidelity, and trust me, I'm going to explain it all soon. So I was able to figure out how to put the money in the Fidelity. So I called and put it on speaker and verify how much money I have, in my account. The guy was like, I have 100,000, but he was like, oh yeah, come on.
Oh yeah, come on. Let's go ahead and take the information from Fidelity that is fraudulent, and let's go ahead and take a look at buying a vehicle with a fraudulent check.
So I purchased this, I wrote a check and I gave up the accepted for value also with the red letters behind my social. I gave him two forms of payment. So
So what he's saying is that he did not only write him a fraudulent check, but he actually did an accepted for value, um, in the manner that is being stated all over the internet with regards to these supposed promissory notes, which, by the way, do not work because they're not backed by any security. With that being the case, they're not actually a promissory note. Promissory notes have very specific regulations, and you writing yourself an IOU or writing someone else an IOU is not part of that regulation that works for a dealership who deals with real life banks in reality.
gave it factualized trust, motor proprio, gave him the whole full works. So, went back, did the business. I got the bill of sale, which the contract I'm going to short the end where accepted by seller. So the check was cashed at Compass Bank, Alabama. That's how far I traced it, but nobody wants to give me answer. I need help. So Harvey Dent, this is way further than where you went, Harvey Dent, because
Which, of course, was the point, Harvey, because we, I believe, not too long ago in one of your videos, called out a bunch of people and said, well, you don't have the guts, or as you so eloquently put it, the balls to do it yourself. So Harvey did it for you. But this gentleman felt the need to take this much further than you did, Harvey. Aren't you proud of yourself?
you didn't get the bill of sale like I did. I have a key. I have everything to it. Like I
Yeah, how about that? He has a key and he has the bill of sale. But now he's begging for Harvey's help.
said, the bill of sale, and it's been signed by a seller. So I compiled all the video and audio and everything and all the evidence I have together. I am going to need some support, and for with your support, I'll go ahead and make more videos showing you guys the whole works and how.
Hmm. So, Marvin Miller, what kind of support are we talking about? And honestly, did you really sign a law form here? Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Tell us what kind of support you're talking about, Marvin.
This all works. So share my video and help me figure this out, because the only thing left for me to do is take it to court and whatnot. And I could be my own lawyer, but I'm still gonna need help and a team.
Hmm. Well, this is really interesting here. You can be your own lawyer, but you're going to need help from the team because you don't understand why defrauding the dealership by writing them a bogus check from an account that you put bogus funds into didn't pay for your brand new 2018 BMW. Hmm. Well, let me know how that goes for you, Marvin.
So, yeah, on my next videos, I might show you how to, actually put money inside it. There's so much, for me to tell you guys, but watch this video and Harvey Dent, help me and please get in touch with me. I'm calling you out again.
Yeah, Harvey, help him. And by all means, please get in touch with him. Because before he tells everybody else exactly what to do in order to make sure that they too can possibly be threatened with jail time for stealing a vehicle that they didn't pay for and had no intention of actually paying for, he needs to talk to you about it, Harvey.
Just the color alone, just like
I'm the geek product specialist with BMW Corporate, so I know this inside and out. This color is named after a surf location on the northwest point of Australia. Okay. It's called Snapper Rocks. That's where the surfers hang out in Australia. And
Isn't that beautiful? Yes, what a nice BMW that is. That would be the reason why it's a $72,000 vehicle. And that $72,000 needs to be real money, not monopoly money, not a monopoly promissory note. And there is nothing, and I repeat, absolutely nothing, that Harvey Dent's going to be able to do to help you whatsoever, Marvin. Nor do I doubt he wants to.
that's what they named this after, this color. And it's only on the 4 Series with the cognac interior.
Okay. Hopefully this will be my little baby right here. And yeah, just me and my dog.
Right to the bone. This is a beautiful car.
No lie.
Sure.
I wouldn't even want to drive it until I'm driving off the lot, actually.
Yeah, I know how it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could have called me, let me know what was going on.
Yes, you should have at least called and let you know what was going on. For God's sakes, it's not like you'd ever try to steal anything.
Something.
No, they told you when I was there that Richard?
No,
Richard told you
Richard not calling me, boss. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, mean, nothing like that, but you gotta give me some type of explanation.
I'm giving you, you gave us a bad check.
Can I get an error code, a return code, error
You
code?
talk to the bank that you gave us a check on.
Look, can you please give me an error code? That's all I'm asking.
I don't have it. I don't have it.
So I mean, I got the insurance on the car, everything came back, and
Okay.
that's why. So why would I?
You gave us a fraudulent check. We could have turned it into the police.
I mean, you can't.
You gave us a fraudulent check. We could have turned you into the police. Now, we find out later in this video as it goes on, because as you can see, this is a 17-minute video, that they actually did contact the police department. They wanted to try to work it out, it sounds like, where he would just on his own accord return the vehicle. However, they did contact the police, and Marvin does not seem to understand. He doesn't seem to understand why it is that everybody is so upset. I mean, after all, he has insurance on the vehicle.
Okay, you would call for the police report, and then we can take it from there.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so all right. So did it say invalid account, whatever it said?
I'm sorry, but what I need you to say, okay?
And then what's your name, sir?
I'm doing.
Dwayne. So, Mr. Dwayne, I mean, I'm not finished talking to you,
I
sir.
am, because you gave us a bad check. We should have called the police.
Sir, I mean, you could have. So,
Okay, hang on.
like I said.
You gave us a bad check, and we could have called the police. I would encourage everyone to actually go and watch this video in its entirety when you have a chance to, because you'll be surprised with what the ending is. What I'm not understanding here, and the reason why I pulled this out and decided to talk to you guys about it, is because, I have been accused of being hard-headed in the past. As a matter of fact, there are subscribers that even as soon as today have said, you know what, Virgo, you need to stop trying to convince people that are just not going to be convinced, because even when you can show them proof, even when you have letters from law enforcement, even at the upper realm of law enforcement, you can show them that people are getting in trouble. People are going to jail for 20 and 30 years. This is really happening. This is reality, folks. That people that even wrote a couple $100 worth of checks or did ACHs online electronically for a couple $100 or less are getting letters saying, hey, you better not do this again. It's fraud. You better contact an attorney and talk to them about this scenario. I just did the video yesterday. But even with that being the case, you just don't seem to understand, Virgo. There are people that are not going to listen, no matter what you try to show them. I keep trying to get people to understand that this kind of cognitive dissonance is the kind that puts you in prison for a long period of time. Now, this gentleman went through all this, and in the beginning I believe that he started to do it because he wanted to outdo Harvey Dent with the promissory note on that $58,000 Nissan. But it has turned in and evolved into something totally different than that now. Now he's trying to figure out how to solicit assistance from his grouping of individuals in order for him to go to court to battle this as though he has the right. Listen, guys, I don't care what Harvey says. I don't care what anybody else is telling you either. The bottom line is, these accounts do not exist. And even if they did, which they don't, but even if they did, you're not going to get to them like this. The way that you guys are handling this is all wrong. If you want the laws changed, if you want things to be different, then let's gather together and make that happen in the manner that it is supposed to happen. Not by spreading around falsities and lies. I just got through doing some equations, and I realized that if everybody in just the state of California had a $3 million trust in their name, that's like getting up there with the national debt. And that's just the state of California. It's not logical, people. It's not logical that every citizen has a trust account in their name that's worth millions of dollars. Well, let's talk about the fact that what do they base that on, okay? What do they base that on? Now, I've heard people say that it's based on their work history, but let's face it, a birth certificate is done at the time of birth. Quite frequently, most of the time. If a child is handicapped, you don't even know it at that point. If they have a mental issue like retardation of some sort or Down syndrome of some sort, it's not necessarily known upon birth. A lot of times they don't know it until they're at a point where they actually can start pointing at things and they start responding slower, which can take months. How do you base somebody's taxes that they would pay in or amount of work that they would do based around the fact that they're absolutely 100% all going to be okay? I mean, that isn't the case. That isn't what happens. A lot of people become disabled. A lot of people don't even make it to the age of 5. I mean, how would you base a value on somebody like that? Nobody's ever answered that question for me. It's a very interesting question, I think. This is absolute ridiculousness, and I don't understand why it is that those of you that buy into this are doing it. I can't believe that the cognitive dissonance can be so bad that you don't see how hideous these ideas really are. What a fool this person is making of themselves. And by the time that this video is an hour old and uploaded, we'll have channels that will be coming out talking about how brave Marvin is. This is not brave. This is not standing up for anything. This is someone attempting to try to defraud. This is someone attempting to try to steal a vehicle from a 45-year-old dealership. This isn't stick it to the government. This isn't helping you in any way. This isn't something that is absolutely going to get anybody any kind of freedom whatsoever. It's not proving the existence of anything. It wouldn't be if he had succeeded. Even for the short amount of time it would have taken him to get down the street and get arrested. Honestly, all this is doing is promoting fraud, promoting theft. Because let's face it, the small businesses that are out there, which believe it or not, a lot of the dealerships are not owned by the companies that make the vehicles. They're owned by parties that start from a very small group and grow into a larger dealership. Now, you spend 45 years with you and your son or your relatives building a business, and just because you're doing well enough to support your immediate family, does that mean that somebody has the right to come in and steal $72,000 from you? Is that going to set well with you? Oh yeah, they're not sticking it to the actual BMW group. They're sticking it to the dealership by doing this, which is, in essence, a small business. It isn't a large business. It isn't a 500 fortune company or none of that. It's a small business. So if he gets to make up his own rules and everybody gets to make up their own rules, you know what we have? We have total anarchy, people. We have no regulations, no one to call when somebody robs you just because they decide they want what you have versus working for it the way that they should. There's no check and balance in what is happening here at all. Nothing's right about it. It proves nothing except for that someone's attempting to try and get away with fraud, didn't get away with it, and is still going to continue to try to get away with it by actually possibly taking this dealership to court, but only after some support is received from the family, because after all, it's going to take money, isn't it? It's time to think, people. It's time to think.